In a world filled with distractions and noise, the call to worship God remains a profound and essential part of our existence. Worship is not confined to a building or a specific time. It is a lifestyle, a heart posture that connects us to our Creator. John chapter 9 verse 38 tells us of a man who, after receiving his sight from Jesus, declared, "Lord, I believe," and worshipped him. This moment encapsulates the essence of worship, recognizing who God is and responding with our hearts. Worship is our acknowledgement of His greatness, His mercy, and His love. In Matthew chapter 8 verses 2 to 4, we encounter a leper who approaches Jesus saying, "Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean." This moment is profound as it captures the essence of faith and the courage to seek divine intervention. The leper, ostracized by society and burdened by his condition, finds the strength to approach Jesus, believing in his power to heal. His act of coming to Jesus was an act of worship, a demonstration of faith and trust. It wasn't just a plea for physical healing, it was a declaration of belief in Jesus' divine authority. The leper's approach symbolizes the ultimate surrender, laying down his fears and doubts at the feet of Jesus, hoping for a miracle. Jesus, moved with compassion, healed him. This act of healing was not just a physical restoration, but a profound spiritual renewal. Jesus' touch, often considered taboo for a leper, broke societal norms and showcased his boundless love and mercy. The leper's life was transformed in an instant, not just by the healing of his skin, but by the acceptance and love he received from Jesus. This story reminds us that worship is not just about words. It is about our willingness to come before God, vulnerable and open, trusting in His power to transform our lives. True worship involves a heart that seeks God earnestly, a spirit that is willing to be molded and changed. It is about recognizing our own need for healing and having the faith to believe that God can and will meet us in our brokenness. As we reflect on this story, let us be inspired to approach God with the same faith and trust, knowing that He is always willing to make us whole. Matthew chapter 22 verses 35 to 40 reveals the greatest commandment, to love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul and mind. This passage is a cornerstone of Christian faith, emphasizing the importance of a deep, unwavering love for God. It calls us to dedicate every part of our being to Him, to seek His presence in every aspect of our lives, and to prioritize our relationship with Him above all else, and to love your neighbor as yourself. This dual commandment is the foundation of our worship. When we love God wholeheartedly, we naturally extend that love to those around us. This love is not just a feeling, but an action. A commitment to care for others, to show kindness, and to build a community rooted in compassion and understanding. Worship is not merely a personal experience, it is a communal act that binds us together in faith and love. It is in the act of coming together, sharing our joys and burdens and supporting one another, that we truly live out the teachings of Christ. Our worship extends beyond the walls of the church, into our daily interactions and the way we treat each other. It is a living testament to our faith, a reflection of God's love in the world. By loving our neighbors, we create a ripple effect of positivity and grace, fostering a sense of unity and belonging. This is the essence of worship, a continuous, ever-growing expression of love for God and for each other. In Jonah chapter 1, verse 9, we see Jonah declaring, "I am a Hebrew, and I worship the Lord, the God of heaven, who made the sea and the dry land." Jonah's declaration emphasizes that worship is an acknowledgement of God's sovereignty over all creation. Today we too can declare our worship, recognizing that God is not confined to a temple or a specific place. Psalm 95 verses 1 to 2 invite us to come. Let us sing for joy to the Lord. Let us shout aloud to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before Him with thanksgiving and extol Him with music and song. Worship is an expression of joy, gratitude and reverence. It is a response to the goodness of God in our lives. Through Jesus, we have the incredible privilege of worshiping God without the constraints of a temple. In John chapter 4, verse 24, Jesus teaches us that God is spirit, and His worshippers must worship in the spirit and in truth. This means that our worship is not limited to a physical location, it transcends time and space. The Holy Spirit plays a vital role in our worship today. He is our comforter, our guide, and our helper. In Romans chapter 8, verse 26, we learn that the Spirit intercedes for us when we do not know what to pray. This divine connection allows us to worship authentically, even in our moments of weakness and uncertainty. Worship is deeply emotional. It is a response to the love and grace we receive from God. In our brokenness, we find healing through worship. In our joy, we express gratitude. Worship is the language of our hearts, a way to connect with the divine and to express our deepest longings and praises. In today's world, where love can often feel scarce, we are called to embody the love of God. Loving God means loving others. It means extending grace, compassion, and kindness to those around us. Our worship is incomplete if it does not translate into action. Let us remember that our worship is not just confined to songs and prayers. It is lived out in our daily interactions. When we love our neighbors as ourselves, we fulfill the commandment of Christ and reflect his love to the world. In these challenging times, we must remain steadfast in our worship. The world may try to distract us, but we can find strength in our relationship with God. Worship is our refuge, our source of hope, and our anchor in the storm. Let us cultivate a lifestyle of worship where every moment is an opportunity to honor God. Whether in our homes, workplaces, or communities, we can create an atmosphere of worship that invites the presence of the Holy Spirit. As we reflect on the significance of worship, let us commit to loving God with all our hearts, souls, and minds. Let us seek his presence daily, allowing the Holy Spirit to guide us in our worship. Consider the power of your testimony. Each of us has a unique story of how God has moved in our lives. Sharing these stories is a form of worship, a way to declare his goodness and faithfulness. When we testify to his work, we inspire others to seek him and worship him in their own lives. Worship is also about community. When we gather together, whether in small groups or large congregations, we create a space where the Holy Spirit can move powerfully. We encourage one another, uplift each other, and collectively bring our praises to God. Worship can take many forms. It is not limited to singing hymns or reciting prayers. It can be expressed through art, dance, writing, and acts of service. Each creative expression is a reflection of our love for God and our desire to honor him. Take time to reflect on your personal worship journey. What does worship mean to you? How can you deepen your relationship with God? Consider keeping a journal of your prayers, thoughts, and experiences. This practice can help you recognize the ways God is working in your life and draw you closer to him. In these challenging times, we must remain steadfast in our worship. The world may try to distract us, but we can find strength in our relationship with God. Worship is our refuge, our source of hope, and our anchor in the storm. Thank you for joining us on this journey of exploring the power of worship. Throughout this series, we have delved into the many facets of worship, from its profound impact on our personal lives to its ability to bring communities together. We've seen how worship can be a source of strength, comfort, and inspiration, guiding us through both joyous and challenging times. If you found this message meaningful, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content that inspires and uplifts. Your support helps us continue to create and share messages that touch hearts and transform lives. By subscribing, you'll be the first to know when we release new videos, ensuring you never miss out on the encouragement and inspiration we strive to provide. Together, let us worship God in spirit and truth, reflecting his love in a world that desperately needs it. Worship is a powerful expression of our faith and devotion, and it has the potential to bring about positive change in our lives and the lives of those around us. As we come together in worship, we create a ripple effect of love, hope, and unity that can spread far and wide. Remember, worship is not just an act, it is a way of life. It is about living each day with a heart full of gratitude, a spirit of humility, and a commitment to serving others. Let us carry the lessons we've learned and the inspiration we've gained into our daily lives, making worship an integral part of who we are and how we live. Thank you for being a part of this journey with us.